Hi folks, well we're back on the HITACHI Music Centre. What I want to do next is remove the mechanism, and I believe that you remove. Now this claim hasn't been substantiated, so I could even be wrong. That up there out of the way so it doesn't get damaged. Now I believe that to get the mechanism out of this, that you take this screw here out. Bring the pot a bit nearer. Take these two screws here out. I'm going to clean all the contacts and everything on it. And I noticed the belt for the counter is missing, so we'll sort the belt for the counter out as well. Clean all the rubber idlers, all the other bits, and we'll check everything to make sure that this is 100% ready to go, like all my items that I do. Right, so that's got to come off there. Take that screw out that's hiding down there. That has to come out. Yep, that's right. Now there should be another screw. Now that holds the take counter on, so that doesn't undo. I think I'm just having a feel. Move this board down a bit, which I think it's supposed to be. Take this screw out the back here, that won't very tight. There we go. Right, well we're moving. You got anything else holding? Yep, we do. But you don't just go pulling at something, because you never know. You always, most of these screws are pretty much the same length, so. And when I undo that, right, the mechanism, I don't think it unplugs, so it might. I think it does. Yeah. I think it does, but whether I need to unplug it's another matter. We'll just withdraw it first and find out whether I need to unplug it. So we've got this wire here going to the motor, so we need to untangle that. Oops. That goes to there. Get as much of the wire up as we can without snapping anything. Right. So basically, I've got a feeling. Right. Now this is your record switch here. Now this unplugs here. Now I might be able to unplug this from here and get away with it. Let's just make sure these wires here are not going to get nipped. They go to... I would really like to unplug it, but it's not going to be possible. But yeah, we've got some... Let's see. I don't want to start taking things. See that there? That wire there, which is the motor. Got this green and blue coming up to the circuit board there. I don't like the way that blue's soldered on. I mean, right. I might have to disconnect them actually. Don't like the way that blue's soldered on down there. So we've got, that's the transformer. That plugs there for the transformer. Obviously that. These plugs, this plug here is for the cassette mechanism. We've got more wires here. I think if I unplug that at a starting point, if it'll come off, that's it. It's keyed so it can't go back in the wrong way. Right, so now we should be able to get a bit more leverage, gain a bit of ground here. There we go. Oops, there we are. That's better. I'd still like to have the entire mechanism off though, but don't think that's going to happen. The belt feels okay. Let's just check the tension. Yeah, the belt's good. The belt's good. Right. These wires here, they don't matter. That plugs on that plug. Got another fuse here, another fuse here. It's well protected, this thing. Got two fuses at the back there, a fuse at the back of the cassette mechanism, a fuse either side here. It's well protected. Right. So what I need to do next is spray the record play switch switches and that might help to fucking get the mechanism out actually might help to get the board out to do that, but the problem is, see if I can undo this cable tie. If we can undo this cable tie, that'll give me a bit more leeway. That'll free a few more wires off. There we are. Right, and this, there we are. Can that switch be actuated by hand? Not very well. I'd like to get the board out, to be honest. I would like to get the board out. I'd like to get the board out, to be honest. It's a bit more involved than what I thought it was. I mean, it's, there should record levers there. Right, so let's push the record button down. I think that's the record. Let's play. Yeah, let's record. That's them switches now in. So now I can get some spray into those. Turn my nozzle the other way up. There we go. More. Right, let's try and hold that up so the stuff can run down it into the switch. So let's there we go. That should be that. Now let's have a look at the playback, because when we press play the sound faded, didn't it? So let's have a look at how it actuates that. There's got to be a switch somewhere. So let's have a look. Got to be some sort of, get these wired, there we go. Got to be some sort of switch that's been actuated. Well, it ain't on the top, so it's got to be under that board on the bottom. So let's lift it up here. Let's have a look. Does that play? No, that plays. There's the switches. There they are. There the fuckers there. What we'll do is spray a bit on them. There we are. Hold the stop button down. And work the switches. Alright, so let's see if we can find that. I wonder where those switches are. I wonder where the wires are to go to them. These here. Yeah. These wires here that go to those switches. So if I find out where those switches are connected. Right, so it's so it's the red, white and blue, which is, there's the red, it's the white and the blue. Oh, oops. Get the meter. We'll see if them switches are making continuity. Because to be honest, if I don't have to take the board out, I'm not going to. It's a bit involved. Let's go for the red one and the blue. Just check we're on. We are. The red and the blue. Press play. Nothing. Nothing. That one's working. Yeah, that one's working. One of them isn't. Unless... I can wait. Right. Let's see. Make sure we are... Oh, hang on. Hang on, I'm testing the wrong blue. Let's put the black probe in there. And the red, the white. Yeah, that's working. I was testing the wrong blue. Press play. Nope. Let's connect it to the white. Let's go to the blue even. Let's go to the white. Yep. So obviously they disconnect when you press play, so they're working. So the switches are working. Whether they work when you fucking put it on the load is another fucking matter. They're working. I'm probably going to have to take the board out anyway. The buttons need straightening, some of them are a bit bent. Probably going to have to take the board out anyway. These plugs here go to these sockets on the front. So I can unplug those. That one goes to the top, which is the lights. No, it ain't, it's the socket. But we'll put that there. We know that one goes to the top. Oh, it's easy to work out anyway. This one's only got 2 wires and it goes to the bottom. So we'll unplug that. There we go. Now let's see about taking some screws out. I might I forgot to mention this is part 2, by the way. I'm just looking around for the other screws. There might not be any, it might be a slide fit. You don't want them fucking type of things that board slides in one side. Let's have a look. Well, it appears to be the case. Whether it fucking is another matter. Let's unplug this plug from here, which unplugs these 2 buttons. There we go. I don't unplug all this fucking lot because We've got a fucking screw in there somewhere. Got some fucking holding that in. Jesus. There we are. Board's out. We're going to get it fucking far enough is another matter, but I just need to shift it sideways slightly. Right, so that's that. I'm trying to work out I don't want to. There we are. There we go. There we go. Yeah, the belt's still in good nick. I just want to get to those. I'm not going to be able to get to those switches, I don't think. I'm going to have to remove. To get to the switches, you're going to have to take out the fucking mech apart. To get down there, you've got to take out the fucking mech apart, which is a fucker. Which I'm certainly not doing. This is your, what do you call it here, your Dolby light, that's your record light. Record bulbs in there. Right. So basically, let's feel that rubber. Right. So yeah, that feels okay. Let's just get me little tool. My little tool. There it is. Get my little tool and just see if there's a hard surface. Oh, that's nice and soft. That's alright. So what we'll do, we'll get the IPA. Get the IPA. Get the little cup that I put the IPA in. I'm running out of this. If I run out of this, I can always use my rum, which is a waste of a good rum, really. Which I wouldn't really do, obviously not. Cleaning electrical products with proper drinking alcohol. I'd rather put that down, rather pour that down my throat, if you please. Right, and even if you don't please, I'd still rather pour it down my throat. Right, so basically what we're going to do here, we're going to move this a bit closer to me. I'm going to try and just get all the, there we are. Just give it a good clean. Go around it really. No crap off. So it works better when it's all put back together. Look at all that. That's that rubber done. Do the belt. And this belt's in really good nick. Let's turn the motor. Which will now turn the belt. I mean, this is well made, this machine. It's not like the usual run-of-the-mill shit you see knocking about. I think it's well made anyway, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Some people don't like music centres. Some people think that some people are of the impression because it's all in one unit that they're all shite. And it's not the case, it certainly ain't. I mean, some of them, I mean many of them were rubbish, I'd fucking agree. But you know, there were a few decent ones. You know, this is obviously a well-made one. A lot of the Sharp ones were good. I mean, I think the best music centre ever made, and it's my opinion, like everything else. Was the Sharp SG 450. I think that was the best music centre ever made. It had everything on it. Not only because it had everything on it, but did everything so well. It was a really good machine. I had one years ago. I'm sorry I sold it. But is there anything else down there that needs to clean? No, that's it. No, that's okay. Leave that in there for a minute. Put our circuit board back in, which at this point could be fucking easier said than done. Let's have a look at the guide, see what it guides in. There we go. Right. It goes in like that. Goes like that, and then just there we go. Goes like that. I've just fished it and move that a bit further back so I don't keep catching my fucking arm on it. Fish the screws out that belong to it. Two short ones. There we go. They're all the same screw, more or less, so I don't have to find the exact ones I took out. They're all the same basic screw. So, they were all self-tappers, these. There was only 2 machine screws in it so far that I found. Right, so that's the back of it done anyway. I mean, have I got? Oh, I need to check, make sure I've got the record switch in the record guides. And guess what? I haven't. Take the switch back and take the board back, lift the board back up. Just get the guides, record switch guides back into where they should be. Good job I turn that meter off. It eats batteries as it is. Now let's lift the board up a bit. Slide them back down. Let's get the other one, because if that one's moved, the other one will have done. Are we in? Yeah, it would appear that we are. So let's get the screws back in. Right. There we go. Let's get this level. Just jiggle it a bit. Push that with my finger back slightly so we line up with the screw holes. There we are. Let's use the other screwdriver. The dog chewed that one when he was a puppy. Shows how long I've had that screwdriver. Let's use this fucker, it's fucking better. There we go. That's that. Put our plugs back on. And the nice thing about this, you can only really put the sulphur, I've discovered, you can only really put the plugs on one way, which is good. Right, top. Now, we're looking for a socket with 3 fucking prongs sticking out. Now don't tell me I can't spot it. There it is. Wow, come on, you out of the way. That's the right way. Come on, you shift. There we go. Push that back on. There we are, we're on there now. Now we can turn that back and not worry too much. And now clean the top of it. Clean all the tape path. Look at that. But it was running okay, so. Let's press one of these and see. Is it that one? Yeah. There we are. Give that a clean. So you just turn that and it'll turn everything. Look at the shit that's come off that. Let's get another cotton bud. They're actually nice machines, these HITACHIs. I've had a couple of them over the years when I was younger. And I quite like, I need to straighten that button. And I quite liked them, I'll be perfectly honest. I quite liked them, I thought they were pretty good. I'd never had a problem with one. Very easy to fix. And there again, if somebody buys one off me, they don't have to worry about that because everything's done, it's ready to go. Give that an extra clean. Crap off, there we go. Clean the capstan. So it's nice and clean. Clean the play record head rather. That head looks like it's facing downwards, but that might be how it's supposed to be. But I'll run it before I put it all back together anyway. Anyway, so the clean the auto stop. Doofer, there we go. Right, that is basically, I need to find a belt for the counter, don't I? Because the counter belt's missing. I mean, it's not really a great issue that the belt for the counter's missing, but it'd be nice to put one on. If I can find one, and I might just have struck lucky here. Because this fucker might just fit. So I have to conclude that the belt was missing because I didn't find it inside. So I have to conclude that maybe the belt was missing. Maybe this one will fit, maybe it won't. Oh, look at that. It could be the one out of it. Might have fell out without me spotting it, but that, actually, it's a perfect fit. the take counter now works. Right, just get me cotton bud again because I've just spotted some shit down in the bottom here. Look at this. Let's clean the top of this. See, they actually use the same idlers on these as well, so like if it was, let's check the play. Play's done from underneath and it's nice and taut. Fast forward, that's done from there. There's no cracks in the rubbers are not hard. No need to replace them. I want to straighten this record button. Let's see how the mechanism's fitted. I think it's just a case of oh, that was clever. That was clever, wasn't it? Just snap to the. Oh, who's that? Oh, fuck off. You know something? That's been glued on before. Yeah, that one hasn't, but that one has. That's why it's lopsided. It's been glued on before, that record button. So at least there's one good thing. At least these here are really good quality, they're really good proper pieces of aluminium, not just strips that are stuck on. So, and I cut my finger. Ah, that hurt. You wouldn't believe how much that fucking hurt. Oh well. Let's get the old super glue. But that one was already snapped. Let's scrape off the residue. Yeah, that one was already snapped. That record button, that was already snapped, and that's bent. So while it is fucking snapped, I'll fucking straighten the bastards. I mean, fancy doing that? These things happen, folks. There we go. Straighten it. There we go. That's good. I'll roughen that up to get a keyed surface on it. But this one here, this is the record button, and you can see where it's been re-glued there. So that one's obviously. But the good thing about it is, see, even that's on the wrong way around. So whoever stuck that on, stuck it on the wrong way fucking round. So what we need to do, because they all should face that way, and the good thing about it is they can be repaired. So what I need to do is get this one off here, because that's been stuck on the wrong way around. Whether I can get it off is another matter. Yeah. Well, look at that. Stuck the wrong way around. Let's get some memory paper. Right. I'll give this a bit of a rub to just it wasn't stuck on very well. obviously not. I thought it was shit. I thought it looked a bit wonky, but the actual buttons here, these are all straight here. I fancy snapping that one as well. I've got a feeling that that one wasn't broke, but the record one definitely was. So what we'll do here, which one is the record? That one's the rewind. Is it? Doesn't fucking matter really, as long as they fucking... That's the rewind. So what we'll do now, we'll scratch this up. So the glue can adhere. In fact, I'm not actually going to use super glue. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do better than the last person did. I'm going to do better than the last person did. Let's just put this IPA out of the way. I'm going to do better than the last person did. I'm going to use epoxy because I think epoxy will do the job better. Right, so I'll be back in a minute, folks. I'm just going to mix up the epoxy. You don't need me to see me do that. If you need to watch a man mix epoxy, you've got an issue somewhere. Give me 5 minutes. Right, I'm back, folks. I've fixed it. I used epoxy instead of super glue. I'm just going to clean the top of the buttons now with a bit of IPA. They've not got residue on, they've just got marks on them. I'm just going to clean them. There we go. That's residue. Let's see if I can get rid of it. Not residue from me, it was already there. Yeah. It's a bit better. Yeah, it wasn't residue from me, that, because I was very careful. You can tell where I've glued them, they're glued properly. Anyway, luckily HITACHI used some nice big chunks here, so perfect. Because that's where you're supposed to press them, there on the edge, and they work okay. Let's pop the record tab back. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. And they're straighter than what they were. They'll do. Yep. Perfect. Right, so basically this mechanism's been serviced. So if I put the top back on the IPA before we have another disaster. Don't want to do any more harm or break anything, do we? Anyway, that epoxy I use, it's good stuff. It goes off in 5 minutes, but you know, people say, well, leave it 24 hours. You don't have to, it goes off in 5 minutes. You know, it won't get any harder. I mean, that's as hard as it's going to get. See, it's on, there's a bit left on the box there, because I actually mixed a bit too much. And look at that, it's as hard as stone. The good thing is though, it picks off the spatula, I believe. yeah, it just scrapes off there because it's designed to be cleaned. So cleans off your little spatula or spreader, whatever you want to call it. Comes off that nice and easy. So I'll pop that back in the drawer. And it'll even, I think it'll even pick off this fucking container, you know, because epoxy, like everything else, it has to have a rough surface to really adhere. And probably with a bit of effort you'd probably pick that off, but I'm not going to do that because that's a waste of time. So all this has been serviced. The counter belt's been replaced. There might have been the belt off it and it might have fell out, but because it's a bit uncanny that, isn't it, that I can just put my hand on a belt on the bench and it happened to be the right one. So it probably fell off and it probably is the one for it. But let's lift that back up. Get the wires where we need them. And that goes under there and slips back into place there. Then, yeah, that just goes there like that. Then we can just fish out the screws as we need them. Go on out, you've been fucking fed. You've just been outside and pissed all over the garden. Right, and the trick here is to leave everything a bit loose, so that when you're putting everything back in, you can make sure that it's all lined up. Like that, for example. Right, so grab a couple of screws at once here. We don't want them big ones. That long one goes right through the machine and comes through that middle hole there. Screws to a wooden support in the top. So what we'll do now, we'll put, whoops, see how lined up we are. Oh, perfect. Now what I'll do, I'll put them all in. And I can nip them up. And I can nip them up then, you see, once they're all in. Perfectly lined up. Now, put that box of screws there from it, tub of screws there. Yeah, there's a, what do you call it in this? A little, there's like, I think there's a phono preamp underneath that shielding. There must be. The phono preamp must be built into there because there's a circuit board with a load of bits on, a load of parts on it. So, and that's even lined up. Look at that. Didn't have to adjust that at all. Right. Find the screw that goes in the front, because there is one. and these are all the same length, so I have to assume it's one of these. Soon find out if it bottoms out. It shouldn't bottom out. If it comes out through the bottom, I know it's the wrong one. Yeah, I think that's the wrong one. Might not be, but I don't think the original was that fucking long. Right, so let's dig out the long ones, and then once I'm, because it is that type of thread, it is a machine screw. Let's dig out all these. Should be 4 of them. And I've just found the one I want. It's that one. Not that. Not that. Not that. That's the one. Because obviously the manufacturer would have had a screw coming out of the bottom. That's the one. I'm sick of her fucking phoning. I wish she wouldn't. Do me head in. When you tell somebody not to phone you because you're going to be busy, which part of them going to be busy do they not understand? Don't understand it, you know. Right. So basically, we can try taping this now. I'll get the, because we get the speakers. That's the pickup. I don't need that. Get the speakers and plug the speakers in. One in. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll have to do a bit more investigation. That's the other one in. Right, this is your mains. That's your, make sure that's there, there we go, that's all out of the way. Plug the cassette mechanism back in. Now, that's tight. It's the right way around, it can only go one way. It can't go any other way, so it's got to go that way. It is the correct way around. But there we are. That didn't want to go, but it's gone. Right. Power. Turn the volume down. Put the balance about the middle. About there, that's volume. Right. We can plug it in, make sure everything's connected. That we need connecting for this point. That's the turntable. Don't need to worry about that. Make sure I don't put my fingers anywhere near there. Let's get this tape out of the sharp, because this has got something on it I can play. Get the plug, wherever the plug's gone. There it is. Yep. Don't know which is tape. And that's tape. Well,
twist round and round and round like the Philly shave. Round and round with that rotary action like the Philly shave. Round and round, twist up and down and tilt like it's floating heads. Unique Philly shave. Twist here, twist there, twist just like it's floating heads. Philly shave. Floating heads caress your face. Like the softest hair. Stubborn whiskers go without a trace. But this personal touch is so unique. Only Philly shave. It's made for every face by a new technique. Let's twist! Stubborn whiskers go without a trace. Whichever way they stand. Personal touch is so unique. Only Philly shave. And it's made for every face by a new technique. Well, now it's made to measure shaving with the Philly shave. Personal touch. Your top is stubble, don't worry, Philly shave. Personal touch. Here's the modern twisting shaving that a razor never gave. Shave smoother, quicker, closer, with a Phillips. Round and around and around. With a Phillips. Round and around and around. I said a Phillips. Philly shave. Philly shave. Philly shave.
There we go. Let's press. Oh, I've got an itchy back. Right, let's go for a radio station.
Just a few minutes with Moira Stewart's Hall of Fame concert here on Classic FM, and if you haven't yet,
that was my favourite, but I like it.
Okay, you're hoping for something better potentially.
And she was alone, but he had gone to get help. She understood.
Let's put it in
She had
mono.
faith.
That way
He
get rid
was
of the
the
S.
senator. Kelly is holding herself up out of the seeping water by sheer tremulous force, gripping the steering wheel, whimpering like a child with the effort, understanding she has to suck at an air bubble floating above her, irradiated by moonlight.
God, is
Right.
that one?
I can see you.
Proof, so long as she can see it, that she is still alive.
So where's the record line not coming on?
They'll get here on time if I could just keep my head up. You will be back to help me. You will be back.
But what does she
The
have?
record light isn't coming on. I wonder if
Her
I've
silly fingers
not connected it back up right.
broken nails she'd taken time to paint the night before, using
Not
bubbles.
that that matters. That's
What
ow.
was it for God's sake?
Bit of jagged plastic there.
It was a shoe.
Let's go for record.
Empty shoe. Perhaps one day Kelly Kelleher will transform the accident, the nightmare of being trapped. and
Right. I
submerged,
don't know why the record light
the
isn't coming
drowning,
on.
the rescue, and tell the tale to friends as
I've
an
got a clue.
entertaining story. Everyone
did earlier.
should
I'll have to look at that in a bit.
laugh and say, "Is she? Was she going to die? Like who?"
Right.
I'm here. I'm here.
Stop.
I'm here.
Rewind. Right. Put it back into stereo.
Is she going to die?
That's a bit muffly.
I'm here. I'm here.
It's a bit muffly, that. That's a bit muffly. A bit lower now.
But this could be embarrassing. Speak for yourself.
Buffy, I'm gonna wash my face.
Oh.
Every mile.
Let's rewind it.
Going to die?
I'm here. I'm here.
My life looking for you.
That's vibrating on the top up.
My way
Fuck me.
wasn't easy to do, but I knew there was you all the while, and it
I don't know why the record light isn't working. It was earlier. Let's have knocked the fucking wire off for the bulb to check. Right. I don't know why, but it's a bit muffly. Let's try again. Reason why it sounded a bit fucking low was I pressed the phono button. Because the fucking... You know what I mean?
so lay down.
Right. Rewind my tape. Well, actually, I don't have to. Set the counter, because that now works. Press play and record. But I think the playhead is slightly sloping down. It looks like it's slightly sloping down, so somebody's been at this in the past. So I'll have to look at that. Because it looks like the playhead is out of position. Play recorded rather. So let's put it on the radio.
Buffy?
She pushed her face, her mouth into a pocket of waning air.
Differences. I mean, you can see it so clearly. It's their muscles. Look at their legs.
Stacy's right. As a man ages, the legs go first.
Oh, Ray has no chance, Alicia. Those guys could almost be their sons, for God's sake.
How old is he, Buffy?
Ray. A hell of a lot older than Lucian and Jeff. Oh, I hope he isn't going to have a heart attack. That would really be embarrassing. Can you imagine? For a start, an ambulance would never find us out here.
I'll press the phono again then, you see. Right, so I'll press play. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. There we are.
Buffy?
She pushed her face, her mouth into a pocket of waning air. Differences. I mean, you can see it so clearly. It's their muscles. Look at their legs.
Stacy's right. As a man ages, the legs go first.
Oh, Ray has no chance, Alicia. Those guys could almost be their sons, for God's sake.
How old is he, Buffy?
Ray. A hell of a lot older than Lucian and Jeff.
So
Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look at that tape head because I'm not happy with it. Just turn the machine off for a minute. If I can find the on off switch, there it is. I want to look at why the record light isn't working as well. I connected it back up. I mean, there's only 2 fucking wires goes to it, so fucking hell, it can't be that wrong. Means having to take all this fucking back out, you fucker. Do you know what I might not even bother? Well, actually, I should be able to get to it because the circuit plugs onto the board at the back here, so I'll have a look at that in a minute. I just want to look at this head, because this head looks like it's slightly pointing down. Right. Yeah. That should be straight with the other one. It looks it now, so let's try that. Let's rewind my tape. In fact, let's find a pre-recorded tape. Where's that fucking tape of that fucking woman yapping? That would be nice to find. There it is, My Weekly. What we'll do, we'll set the head up to this, because then we know then.
And now for a poem that captures all the magic of this most special time of year. The Perfect Christmas Tree. I saw the perfect Christmas tree at number 29. It twinkled through the gleaming glass, a stately, man-made pine. The branches stood in order, each decked with crimson bow, and beads were strung in perfect loops. The fairy stood just so.
And the adjuster?
I thought of how our non-drop tree had looked last Christmas Day. The children's chains draped slapdash, and the baubles any old way. The tree was hung with tinfoil, and it leaned towards the door. The vacuum cleaner couldn't cope with needles on the floor. So now I sent the children out and dressed the tree I'd bought. Each plastic branch sat rigid, bearing ribbons of the sort I'd seen at number 29. No gaudy-coloured lights. These twinkled on the count of 10, and every one was white. I stood back, proud and tired, to survey my perfect tree. The fairy doll looked pretty, but she stared down haughtily. The children stood in silence when they saw the tree next day.
Well, that sounds okay. Let's pop this tape back in and rewind it. Let's rewind it. Because that sharp's never been touched, so it should be in perfect alignment. That's what you would expect. And I recorded this Phillips song on that sharp, so
Twist round and round and round like a Philly shave. With that rotary action like the Philly shave. Twist up and down and tilt like it's floating heads.
Unique Philly shave.
Twist here, twist there, twist just like it's floating heads.
It's Philly shave.
Floating, floating heads caress your face.
Like the softest hair.
Stubborn whiskers go without a trace.
Whichever way to turn.
But this personal touch is so unique.
Philly shave.
It's made for every face by a new technique. Let's twist. Are those floating heads caress your face?
Like the softest hand,
Stubborn whiskers go without a trace.
whichever way they stand,
Now this personal touch is so unique,
only Billy shade.
and it's made for every face by a new technique. Well, now it's made to measure shaving with the Philly shave.
Personal touch,
Your toughest stubble, don't worry, Philly shave.
personal touch,
Here's the modern twisting shaving that a razor never gave. Shave smoother, quicker, closer, with a Phillips,
round and around and around,
with a Phillips.
round and around and around.
I said a Phillips, Philly shave.
Billy shade, Billy shade, yeah, pop, pop.
Stop that. Right, let's record again.
But that it sends a message out that life isn't cheap. But the more research I did into it, the more disgusted I felt. You know, there are 5 means of capital punishment remaining in the United States.
5? Really?
Hanging, which takes a man 16 minutes to die, sometimes longer, is still an option in Montana. Yeah. Then there's firing squad, electric chair, which is just torturing someone to death. You know, their eyeballs sometimes pop out of their sockets. There's a smell of cooking meat.
Oh, nice.
Then the gas chamber, which is arguably the most barbaric way to die, and lethal injection, which is considered the most humane method of state-inflicted death, but as it's currently practiced, the procedure is designed to create the appearance of serenity and a painless death, when actually, there's no proof it's really like that. And if a convict has a history of intravenous drug use or diabetes, it can take up to half an hour to find a suitable vein. It's not instant. Basically, there's no good way to die.
Well, you know, I'm on the record for...
No shit. It's official, folks. There's no good way to die.
Like the softest hand,
Stubborn whiskers go without a trace.
whichever way they stand,
Now this personal touch is so unique.
I think I rewound a bit too far forward. Back rather.
Every face by a new technique. Well, now it's made to measure shaving with the Philly shave.
personal touch,
Your toughest stubble, don't worry, Philly shave.
personal touch,
Here's the modern twisting shaving that a razor never gave. Shave smoother, quicker, closer, with a Phillips,
round and around and around,
with a Phillips.
round and around and around.
I said a Phillips, Philly shave.
Billy shade, Billy shade, yeah, pop, pop.
That's what you want, folks.
I go into it, the more disgusted I felt. You know, there are 5 means of capital punishment remaining in the United States.
5? Really?
Hanging, which takes a man 16 minutes to die, sometimes longer, is still an option in Montana. Yeah. Then there's firing squad, electric chair, which is just torturing someone to death. You know, their eyeballs sometimes pop out of their sockets. There's a smell of cooking meat.
Jesus.
Then the gas chamber, which is arguably the most barbaric way to die, and lethal injection, which is considered the most humane method of state-inflicted death, but as it's currently practiced, the procedure is designed to create the appearance of serenity and a painless death, when actually, there's no
That's not
like
bad.
that. And if a convict has a history of intravenous drug use or diabetes, it can take up to half an hour to find a suitable vein. It's not instant.
Easy to do. It's not instant. Let's clean this on off switch. I mean, we don't have the death penalty here in the UK. We should. I thoroughly believe we should. But we don't. I mean, let's face it. If people thought they were going to die for their sins, be a whole lot less sinners, wouldn't they? Right, so I'm going to do a double check on the talk and stuff. The rewind and the fast forward. Yeah, that's good. Could be a bit better, so we'll just give that a quick roughen up with the emery paper. Oh, I've got a piece there, I can use that. Just give that a quick rub and roughen up just to... There we are. Give that rubber there a quick roughen. That's better. Just gives it a bit of a roughen up. And I'm not going to roughen that because it's not supposed to be rough. And one thing I did forget, I forgot to clean the idler. Bit of oil's required somewhere. I'm not sure where, I think it's this table here. We'll get a bit of oil on that. But just before I do that, let me just clean this take up idler. There we are. Nothing on it, but press that on the clean and a bit of extra. Look at that shit come off that. Ooh, that's a lot better. Take up torque's great. Rewind. So what we'll do, we'll stop that, we'll pull the cap off, there we go, and make sure, oh, I've just dropped a spacer, oh you fucker, oh, has it landed on me somewhere? Ooh. Didn't expect a spacer being there. Right, so make sure I don't lose the cap, let's just get a little bit of, the minutest bit of oil, just on there. Whoa, got a bit too fucking much there, let's just bring that back. Just push that. There we are. So it pushes the brake. Didn't get much fucking oil down there, did I? I know what I'll do. I know what we'll do. We'll stop that. Put the counter belt over there for a minute. Lift that off. And what we'll do, we'll get the oil There we go. Onto the, we'll do that. Dab a little bit on the bottom there. Make sure I don't touch the rubber surfaces. There's supposed to be a little brake block on there, but it seems to have wore off. There's fuck all I can do about that. Right, put the cap back on. There was a spacer, but that's long gone. I'll never find that. There we go. Put the cap back on. There we are. Torque on, that's lovely. Out! It's too early. Just clean, give that hand an extra bit. 'Cause that's... Yeah. Just put the tape back in. They're dead light, these buttons, you know. You don't really have to put a lot of force on them to press them. Oh, let's put the tape counter belt back on. I'll have a look around the floor for that spacer, but perfect. It's a lot faster. Still making that noise. Could be that one though. Could be that fucker. Let's find out. Could even be the fucking tape counter. Let's see. You know, I bet it's the fucking tape counter. Let's turn it off for a minute. Let's service the counter. Now we've got the fucking belt caught up somewhere. There, get here, fucker. Put the belt there. I bet it's the fucking counter. It feels a bit stiff, to be honest. Yeah. Right. Right. I should be able to get a bit of oil down that. There we go. Now let's see. Pop the belt back on. If this doesn't work, I have to take the tape counter off and service it. But that's what's causing it. Let's put the belt on. It's probably why the belt was taken off. Yeah. That oil works in, it should be alright. There we are. Yeah, the oil's worked in now, it's alright. Yeah, it's a lot better as well. Look how light them buttons are. Now let's rewind the tape. That end. Wow, that's quick. Make myself a roll. Where's my lighter? I had a bit of fun earlier actually, folks. A couple of the mothers outside on the front here were chasing their kids up and down the street. I shouted across, you know me. I shouted across, said, keep you young and fit, don't they? Yeah. Well, one was from round corner, one was from, I know them all, and one was from over the road. That get here, you little shits and stuff like that, you know, get here. And they're chasing them and whatnot. Yeah, it keeps you young. Yeah. Aye. I remember being the same way when I was a kid. My mum chasing me. I used to get here, you little bastard. You know. And my mum, you know, it took a lot to make my mum swear. Because she didn't really swear. It took a lot to make her swear, and when she did, you know. But yeah, it took a lot. She weren't really a swearer, my mother. Not when we were kids anyway. I think she progressed a bit as we got older. We used to get, I'll tell you, Dad. To go back the other way. There we go, folks. Sorted. As silent as an angel's fart. Let's take them fucking glasses off for a minute. So I've repaired the buttons I broke. The record one's still not exactly straight. Now I can do about that. I'll just have to live. Shut up! I'll just have, you know, I don't understand him today. He's been out, he's been fed, he's had his jumbo, he's got water. It's just been all over. I've been outside for about an hour talking, and he was running round, and you know, he was having a piss and everything, so I don't understand him. Shut up! I'll let you out in a minute. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Yeah. What's the matter with you today? Hey? You gonna come up and say hello? You're not? Okay. Well, it's rewinding really fast now, that, folks. That's faster than what it was before. That counter's working beautifully. I still don't understand why the record light isn't coming on though. Not that I'm bothered, I'm not pulling all this back out for the record light. Try fast forward. That should be fast forward. Oh, lovely. Yeah. And that stop, I get confused when there's fucking 7 keys on them.
Well, now it's made to measure shaving with the Philly shave. Nice little touch. Your top is stubble. Don't worry, Philly shave.
Right, let's record. Let's move to the end of here. That's fast forward. I want to record a blank space in the tape, see what the noise is like.
Babe, it's not instant.
Right, so if I press record and we leave it on tape. Oh, there we are. That noise button doesn't do much when you press it when it's on play. I'm not bothered about the record light. I can fucking live without that. Oh, hang on, I think I know why the record light doesn't work. The green wire off. Oh, I think there is. Yeah. Yeah, the green wire come off there. It's probably a good idea to solder that back on. Right, let's just solder that back on. Right. Let's see what our noise level's like. That should be enough. Play.
Procedure is designed to create the appearance of serenity and a painless death when actually there's no proof it's really like that. And if a convict has a history of intravenous drug use or diabetes, it can take up to half an hour to find a suitable.
I rewound a
vein.
bit far, didn't I?
Instant.
There. There's a bit of a hum there. I don't know what's causing that. It's only in one channel. I'll have to look into that. Let's get this record wire soldered back on. Record, it could even be that's the problem. So you look, we've got a wire off here. Where's it fucking come off from? I think it's come off the top there. Goes to there. Yeah. Right, let's get the knife out so I can strip that wire. I don't even know what time it is, you know. Let's have a look what time it is. Move! Move! I don't want to roll over your foot with the chair. I don't know what time it is. 24 minutes past 5. Out! If you're mithering for your tea, it ain't fucking due yet. Let's pull the plug out to be safe. Actually, I don't need to strip that. There's enough fucking wire there to solder to. I don't need to strip it. There we go. So that's probably the record light. It's a good indication why the record light doesn't work. I mean, I double check everything before I send these things out. Before I sell one, I double check it all, and I make sure there's no stone left unturned. There we are. Just move that out of the way. Yeah, that's where that wire's come off. Let's just tack it back on. There we go. That was where the wire came from, I believe. Yep, record light now works. Don't know why I'm getting that hum though in that channel. It's not coming through the record deck. It's not the record switch. Set that take counter to 0. We're getting that bit of a hum, I don't know why. It's not there when you record though, it's only there, you know, you can't hear it when you record, you can only hear it when you play it, when there's silence. It's not there when you record anything. Right, rewind. We only want to go up to 0. There we go. It's there. Let's have a look at that. But when you record, let's put it on the phone now and record nothing. And see if there's any hum there then. I mean, it could even be generated by the mic socket, anything. It could be anything, but if it doesn't do it through the phono, I'm not going to bother about it, because if it doesn't do it through the phono, it won't do it through anything else. So I'm not going to bother too much. Right, so rewind. Only a little bit. Well, I think I've gone a bit too far. That was the first one.
Differences. I mean, you can see it so.
Let's go again. That was me messing about. On phono. Get it up to about 5, and then I've set the take counter this time, so I know. Right, that's gone to 6, that's good enough. Back on tape. There we go.
I mean, you can see it so clearly.
Oh, that's not too bad. Very hissy though, I might look into that. Right, let's put our other tape back in. And
It's perfect, Mum, all they said, then went about their play. I knew they didn't like it, and I knew that they were right. We stripped the tree and covered it with baubles coloured bright. They spread the balding tinsel. It's
not too bad.
Even as could be, and the coloured lights that they hung reached just halfway up the tree. They hung a cut-out lantern.
Right. As far as I'm concerned, that's as good as I'm going to get that. The record light now works. That was down to that green wire being off. I'm going to sort him out, and we'll call that part 2. Are these getting hot? Ow! Fuck, they could do a bit of extra heat sink on them. They're fucking red hot. Wow. They get red hot. We're getting out hot down here. No. Just off them fuckers. Oh, this is staying nice and cool like you want it to. Just those two drivers. They are fucking hot. So I might look at putting a bigger heatsink on them fuckers. I've got some somewhere. I mean, they can't touch, obviously not. That's why they've got this here. I mean, Hitachi, but mind you though, Hitachi must have thought they were good enough, so, you know. Anyway, that's that. Right, next thing to look at is the Garrard. I'm going to sort him out. We'll call this part 2, and in part 3 we'll go through the Garrard.